Archangel Michael says, "I will never talk to you if you skip me now. A big tragedy is coming your way. I am trying to save your life. You will receive into your." Open this message immediately. There is something sacred unfolding at this very moment, something too important to ignore, something that your spirit has been aching to hear. Archangel Michael's words are not soft whispers this time. They are a divine warning, a shout from heaven echoing straight into the depths of your soul. He is not just calling you. He is trying to reach into your path before darkness strikes, before tragedy finds its door, and guide you to shelter under the mighty wings of God. These words are not random. They are meant for you, here and now, not tomorrow, not next week. They are urgent, personal, and holy. Comment "Amen" right now if you feel the power of this message in your chest. What is being spoken is not fear but mercy. What is being offered is not threat but rescue. Archangel Michael is not warning you to frighten your heart. He is standing between you and what is coming to break you. Heaven has seen what you cannot. A shadow has begun to form, not because of something you did wrong, but because the enemy has seen the light in you and wants to crush it. And now, in this very moment, God is intervening. He is sending Michael, the warrior of heaven, to speak plainly, to warn clearly, and to protect fiercely. Please, like this video if you feel even the smallest stir in your heart, if something inside you is whispering that this is for you and you alone. Michael's voice is urgent because time is short. He does not waste words, and when he says that skipping this will shut the door of his voice, it is not to shame you. It is to let you know that divine moments like this do not come twice. The tragedy that is forming is not to be feared when you are under God's hand, but ignoring a warning from heaven is how hearts grow cold and blind. This is not the time to hesitate. This is the time to listen with your spirit wide open, to stay until the very last word has settled into your soul. The reason Michael is warning you is because you are chosen. You are not forgotten, not abandoned, not unworthy. You are marked with light in a world that is drowning in darkness. That is why the attacks have been so heavy, that is why the confusion has tried to steal your clarity, that is why the enemy has stirred restlessness in your heart. The battles you've faced are not random. They are signs that you carry something holy, something eternal, something the enemy fears. And now, as the waves rise, heaven is sending help. Michael stands as a shield between you and what is trying to break you. But he needs you to stay close. He needs you to take these words seriously, not because he needs your belief, but because your safety depends on your obedience to this heavenly instruction. When he says a big tragedy is coming, he is not saying it to stir panic. He is revealing the unseen to awaken the protection of God in your life before the storm arrives. This is the God who split seas for his people. This is the God who shuts lions' mouths. This is the God who sends angels into fire to protect his children. Right now, Michael is trying to carry your name to the throne of God, but if you walk away, if you dismiss this as noise, the covering may not follow you. This is not about superstition. This is about divine intervention. God is real. His angels are real. And this moment is real. You have not come across this message by accident. You are being drawn into the center of God's will, not because you are perfect, but because you are deeply loved. The tragedy was never the plan. It was an assignment of darkness. But now heaven is reassigning your steps. Michael is sent to shift your direction, to cancel what was plotted, to stand over your home, over your name, over your tomorrow with a flaming sword of light. Let the words sink deep. God is still watching over you. His mercy has not expired. His grace has not passed you by. Even if you've walked through pain, through loss, through seasons of silence, this is the moment when heaven speaks clearly again. You are being called back to the shelter of the Most High. The enemy tried to pull you into despair, but God is pulling you into deliverance. And Michael is the voice of that rescue today. There will always be those who hear and dismiss, who scroll past, who mock, who run. But that is not you. You are the one God is preserving. You are the one He is preparing for greater days. You are the one who will stand and not fall. Because God does not lie. His warnings are always layered with love. His corrections are always full of compassion. And when He sends a message like this, it is not to push you away but to pull you back into the safest place in existence, His presence. Comment 11:11 if you believe that God is turning this moment into a miracle for you. There is no storm big enough to tear you out of God's hand. There is no tragedy stronger than His promise. What is being formed against you will not prosper if you stay close, if you heed the voice of the one who was sent to guard you. Michael is not here to plead. He is here to declare. He is speaking heaven's decree over your life. That what was meant for harm, God is about to turn for good. That what was coming to steal, God is about to restore. That what was meant to bring tears, God will transform into joy. And you will see it. You will not just hear it. You will live it. You will feel the shift. You will walk in the peace. You will stand in the victory. But only if you take this moment seriously. Heaven does not repeat itself lightly. This moment has eternity written on it. Is it time you unlock the same CIA secret brain ritual changing lives in seconds? A new leak has revealed a powerful 7-second technique, developed under CIA-funded research and backed by neuroscience. It's helping people magnetize wealth like never before. From debt to luxury, faster than anyone believed. But this miracle won't stay public for long. Click the link in the description and comments now before it's deleted forever. You are covered by a God who parts oceans, who commands angels, who names stars, and still knows every detail of your life. You are not just one of many. You are deeply known. You are fiercely loved. And Michael has been sent with this message to prove that heaven is still watching, still fighting, still rescuing, still pouring favor, even when the night feels heavy. Every step you are about to take after hearing this is part of God's divine strategy to protect you from what you never saw coming. Archangel Michael is not just delivering a message, he is standing guard over your path. There is movement in the heavens around your life, and though your natural eyes cannot see it, your spirit knows something sacred is unfolding. If your heart is heavy, if confusion has been loud, if peace feels far away, it is because you are on the edge of a turning point. Not everyone will understand this moment, and not everyone will believe it, but for those who have ears to hear, this is the time to step fully into alignment with God's protection. He is not asking you to fight alone. He is asking you to let Him cover you. His angels are not stories. They are assignments. And right now, Michael is speaking because his assignment involves you. Comment 222 if you trust this. The tragedies that have been circling, the sudden changes, the strange losses, the unexpected tension with people you love, they are not just events, they are spiritual attacks sent to wear you down, to blind you from your destiny, to make you doubt your value in God's eyes. But God has not remained silent. He is sounding the alarm through Michael to say, I see it. I have not allowed it. But I will not let it touch what belongs to me. Michael does not step in for just anyone. He is the warrior of heaven, the one who cast down the dragon in the great battle, the one who stands for God's chosen. If He has spoken your name, if He has sent this message into your hands, then you must understand how serious and sacred that is. Something has been unleashed to try and shake your life, but even now, God is shutting its access. You were not made to break here. You were made to overcome through His power. The enemy hoped you would ignore this. The enemy hoped you would scroll by. Because what comes next in your life depends on how seriously you respond to heaven's warning. When you stop and truly listen, you enter a space of divine clarity where fear is replaced by courage, confusion is replaced by peace, and despair is swallowed up by the hope of God's presence. God's presence is not just peace. It is power. It is safety. It is light when all else feels dark. God did not create you to wander without direction. That feeling of being lost, that quiet ache inside your soul, it is not who you are. It is not your destiny. God has been watching, and He has heard your unspoken cries. He knows the burden you carry, the pressure you feel to hold everything together. He knows how the silence of heaven has made you question your place. But now, He speaks with urgency through Michael because He loves you too much to let you walk alone. Every trap that was set for you, every delay that was meant to frustrate your spirit, every betrayal that was supposed to break your trust, none of it will succeed. Because the hand of God is over your life, and His angels have been released to fight battles you cannot even see. What was meant to harm you has already begun to unravel. Heaven is untying every knot the enemy twisted around your future. And what you thought was the end will be remembered as the moment everything shifted in your favor. You may not feel strong, but you are protected. You may not feel worthy, but you are chosen. You may not feel ready, but you are covered. God's presence goes before you. Michael stands beside you. And the very voice of the Lord is echoing behind you saying, "This is the way, walk in it." God is not a God of confusion. He does not stir up fear to frighten His children. He reveals danger only so that He can lead you safely through it. If this message found you in a moment of questioning, if your heart is heavy or your mind is tired, then believe this is your sign from heaven that God is still writing your story, and this chapter is not called defeat, it is called deliverance. Comment 333 to declare your faith right now. There are people who will dismiss this and continue walking in their own understanding, and they will not realize until later that they ignored the moment heaven reached out. But you will not be among them. You will recognize the hand of God in your life and cling to it. You will walk under the shield of his promise, and the tragedy that was planned will pass over you because you chose to listen and believe. Even when the world feels like it's shaking beneath your feet, the ground beneath you is God's promise. Even when the skies look gray, the light within you is still his flame. You are not just being warned. You are being drawn in closer to the arms of the one who never lets go. Every time you've cried alone, he was there. Every sleepless night you carried silently, he counted each moment. And now, he sends Michael not to scold you, but to strengthen you. You do not need to understand every detail of what is coming. You only need to trust the one who holds every outcome. Do you know why everyone's whispering about this 7-second CIA ritual? A brainwave ritual leaked from the CIA is changing lives across the globe. Proven by neuroscience, this 7-second method helps regular people attract money, freedom, and luxury. If you're seeing this, you're very lucky. The page might disappear any moment. Click the link in the description and comments to know this secret before it's deleted forever. No evil will come near your home. No weapon formed against your future will succeed. No lie spoken over your name will stick. Because God has claimed you. His blood covers you. And his angels are encamped around you. The pain of your past does not cancel the protection of your present. The broken places in your life do not scare him. They invite him. Because where you are weak, his power is made strong. You are not lost. You are not overlooked. You are not forgotten. Right now, you are seen by God in such a deep and personal way that he is rearranging heavenly orders to guard you. That is why this moment feels different. That is why something inside you knows you are being spoken to directly. Because you are. There is a divine shield being lifted around your life, not because you earned it, but because you belong to the one who never stops protecting what he loves. And you are deeply loved. This message is not for your entertainment. It is for your deliverance. There are plans against you that you didn't even know were forming, but God knew, and in his great mercy, he has sent Michael to intercept it. Comment 555 right now if you feel God is fighting battles for you that you never knew existed. There are many times in life when the danger we face is invisible, not just in the physical, but in the spiritual. The tension you feel, the strange heaviness in the air, the confusion that keeps circling your mind, these are often signs of warfare, not failure. And in moments like these, the Lord does not leave you without guidance. He speaks through his word, through his spirit, and sometimes, through the voice of angels like Michael, who do not speak unless the assignment is urgent. When he says he will not speak again if you ignore this, it is not anger. It is clarity. Because once the warning is spoken, it becomes your responsibility to heed it. God's mercy comes with invitations, but never with force. You have been given this warning so that you may step under the covering of his wings, not so that you would fear, but so that you would be protected from the schemes being prepared to undo what God has blessed you with. And you have been blessed. Even if you do not see it fully yet. Even if your circumstances do not reflect it clearly. The very fact that you are receiving this divine word is proof that you are chosen for something beyond what this world can offer. The enemy is not attacking you because you are weak. He is attacking because you are called. He is trying to shut you down before you rise, trying to discourage you before your next breakthrough. But heaven has already moved to stop him. Archangel Michael is not standing beside just anyone. He stands with the faithful, with the ones who are marked by God's purpose, even when they feel too broken to see it in themselves. You may not feel strong right now. You may not feel holy. You may even feel distant from God. But none of that changes what God has written over your life. His word will not return void. His purpose will not be shaken. And His protection will not fail. You are not being warned so that you will hide. You are being warned so that you will rise, so that you will anchor your heart in the truth that you are not alone and you are not without covering. The battle is not yours. The war is not yours. The pain you've carried is not wasted. Every single tear has watered the soil for something sacred to grow. And this, right now, is a moment of divine interruption where heaven steps in and says, "Enough." God is about to release new clarity into your life. The confusion that's been clinging to your decisions, the emotional weight that's been clouding your thoughts, the relationships that have been pulling you further from peace, all of these things are being addressed in the Spirit. Michael's message is not just about a coming tragedy. It's about a shift. A removal of what is not sent by God and a strengthening of what is. There are people who will walk out of your life, not because you did something wrong, but because they were never meant to carry your destiny with you. There are habits that will begin to fall off, not through your effort alone, but because God is removing what has kept you bound in cycles of shame. There are prayers you've almost given up on that are already being answered behind the scenes. And though the enemy has tried to delay them with spiritual interference, heaven is pushing through that delay right now. Comment 12:12 if you believe God is releasing something new into your life this very moment. You are going to see doors open. You are going to feel chains break. You are going to walk lighter than you have in years. Not because the world changes, but because your heart will be aligned again with the truth of who God is and how deeply He is invested in your life. He is not distant. He is not waiting for you to be perfect. He is already moving in your favor because you are His. Michael's warning is wrapped in love. And it is soaked in the mercy of a God who gives us chances we don't deserve. If He is sending you this message, it is because He still believes in your restoration. He still believes in your purpose. He still believes in your freedom. You are not defined by what you've done. You are defined by the one who died for you. Why is the government hiding this 7-second brain ritual from the public? A leaked CIA document just exposed a brain technique so powerful, it's helping people cancel debt and call in wealth within days. Validated by 4 top neuroscience labs, this method is changing everything. But this secret won't stay online long. Click the link in description and comments now to access it before it's permanently deleted. This is your moment to turn your heart fully toward God again. To stop running. To stop doubting. To stop living as if God's promises were for everyone but you. They are for you. The enemy has lied to you long enough. He has told you that you are too late, too messed up, too weak. But none of those words have come from heaven. Because in God's eyes, you are still worthy of rescue. You are still worthy of miracles. You are still worthy of protection. When Michael speaks, heaven listens. But when you believe, heaven moves. You are not a mistake. You are not an accident. You are God's design. And right now, that design is being guarded by forces greater than anything formed against you. Caught between the shadow of tragedy that was heading your way and the hand of God reaching out to pull you out before it touches you. Archangel Michael did not bring this message by accident. This is heaven's response to the unseen cries of your spirit, the ones you never said aloud but carried like a quiet burden. Every delay, every detour, every disappointment you have faced recently was not just life being unfair. It was the enemy attempting to reroute your destiny, to make you settle in places that God never designed for you to stay in. And now, this message stands between you and that compromise. God will not let you fall asleep in places you were only meant to pass through. He is waking you up gently, but urgently, before something meant to destroy you arrives. Comment 777 if you believe this moment was written by God with your name on it. Michael's voice is full of fire because the danger is real, but his words are full of love because God's heart is near. You were never meant to walk into this next season without protection. The trap that was meant to break you would have succeeded if God had not spoken now. You may not have realized how close you came to spiritual collapse. The choices being offered to you in this season are not all what they appear to be. Some are disguised attacks. Some are delays dressed up as opportunities. Some are distractions that look like peace. But heaven knows. Heaven sees. And heaven has stepped in to warn you. God has seen the spiritual assignment formed to drain your strength and rob your focus. You have been fighting not only with circumstances but with unseen resistance, and now God is removing the veil. That confusion you have been wrestling with is not just exhaustion. It is interference. It is spiritual static being sent to block your clarity and isolate you from the voice of God. But now the voice of Michael slices through that fog like a sword. He is not here to entertain you. He is here to protect you. And that protection requires your attention, your obedience, and your surrender. The tragedy that was coming was designed to catch you unaware. It was meant to look small at first, harmless even. A wrong turn, a reckless relationship, a moment of compromise. But that was only the seed. The enemy knew if he could get you to plant it, he would wait for it to grow until it wrapped around your life and suffocated your spirit. But God is severing it now. He is interrupting the cycle before it starts. Because that's who He is. A God who sees what's coming and steps in with mercy before judgment. You have cried out for protection, and this is how it comes. Not always in flashing miracles or loud signs, but in the whisper of heaven saying, "This is not the way." God's protection often looks like disruption. Sometimes what falls apart is what was going to destroy you. Sometimes what you lose is the very thing that would have kept you from your promise. Michael is not warning you so you can panic. He is warning you so you can breathe again. So you can walk with the confidence of someone who knows they are not walking alone. You are going to look back on this moment one day and realize that it was the turning point. Not because your life suddenly became easy, but because you finally saw how serious heaven was about protecting you. You finally stopped seeing yourself as someone who had to fight alone. You finally understood that being chosen doesn't mean being perfect, it means being pursued by a love so fierce, it will block every path that leads to destruction just to pull you into safety. Comment 999 if you know God has rescued you from things you never even saw. This message is your rescue. It is not a suggestion. It is not casual. It is sacred. And it demands your attention not because God needs anything from you, but because He wants everything for you. He wants peace to return to your mind. He wants clarity to guide your steps. He wants joy to flow through your soul like it once did before the pain hardened your heart. And He is willing to move heaven to make it happen. You are not hearing this because you are close to failure. You are hearing this because you are close to breakthrough. And that is exactly why the enemy increased the pressure, why the tragedy was formed in silence, waiting to strike just when you started to hope again. But God is not late. He has never been late. He has been watching, waiting, and preparing this exact moment to be the barrier between you and what would have undone everything He has promised for your future. There are battles you don't need to fight anymore. There are people you don't need to chase anymore. There are doors you don't need to force open anymore. Because what is truly sent by God will come with peace, with clarity, with alignment. The moment you start forcing, striving, or compromising, that is often the sign that it is not God's hand moving, but your own fear leading. And that is what Michael is calling you out of right now. Can 7 seconds really change your bank account overnight? A CIA-funded study just leaked, revealing a brain ritual that's flipping lives from broke to blessed. 4 neuroscience labs confirm it activates powerful wealth attraction brainwaves. People are now stepping into dream homes and luxury lifestyles. But this breakthrough won't stay online for long. Click the link in the description and comments now before it's deleted forever. God is not disappointed in you. He is not ashamed of you. He has not turned His face from you. He is closer now than you realize. That sense of urgency in your spirit, that tug at your heart, that stirring that won't let you ignore this, it is Him. It is His love, breaking through the noise, breaking through the fear, breaking through the silence to call you home. This is not the end. This is the beginning of a new protection over your life. The danger has been seen. The angel has been sent. The message has been delivered. Now you must choose to walk under that covering. To take this seriously. To realign your steps. To return to the quiet place where God speaks. Because when you shelter in Him, no weapon formed against you will prosper. Not one. You will walk through fire and not be burned. You will stand in storms and not be shaken. You will witness others fall beside you, but your life will be held in His hands. You are still being kept. You are still being watched over. You are still being protected. Because even when you didn't feel worthy of saving, God still moved. Even when you were ready to give up, heaven sent help. That is how much you are loved. That is how serious this moment is. What could have destroyed your future is being burned away before it ever touches your life. What was planning to rise against you is being brought low under the weight of God's glory moving in your favor. You are walking into a different atmosphere now. Things are shifting even as you hear these words. The heaviness is not yours to carry anymore. The confusion is not your portion anymore. God is not only making a way, He is sealing off the wrong ones. That is why some doors closed suddenly. That is why some people left without warning. That is why the familiar became uncomfortable. Heaven is removing what could not walk with you into what's coming. Comment 10:10 if you believe God is closing the wrong doors to protect your future. Michael's warning was not to spark fear but to ignite faith. The tragedy he spoke of was never meant to reach you, but it was real. It was forming in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to take from you what God has already promised. But now, because you stayed, because you listened, because your heart remained open to God's voice, that tragedy is being cancelled. You will not see what was coming. You will not feel what was meant to break you. God has stepped between you and what was sent to destroy you. Do not let the silence of people make you doubt the voice of heaven. Sometimes those closest to you will not understand the weight of what you carry. They will not see the battle that rages around your spirit. But God sees. God knows. And that is why He speaks now, not with riddles, not with delay, but with clarity that shakes the very walls the enemy tried to build around your heart. This message is not just words. It is movement. It is breakthrough. It is protection manifesting right where you are. You do not have to see the details to trust the direction. You do not have to know how God is doing it. You just need to know He is. That is faith, trusting the covering even when you do not understand the cloud. That cloud is not confusion. It is presence. That stillness is not emptiness. It is protection. God's movements are often quiet, but they are never weak. And when He moves, everything the enemy planned begins to fall apart. There is a reason the battle intensified recently. There is a reason you felt stretched, pressed, tired, even while trying to remain faithful. Because the enemy always increases the heat when heaven begins to draw near. He tries to make you weary right before you walk into the promise. He tries to plant lies in your mind that God has forgotten you, that nothing is changing, that the pain is permanent. But Michael has come to say no, that is not your truth. That is not your story. That is not how this ends. God is not just rewriting the outcome. He is erasing the entire plan of the enemy. What was spoken against you in secret will be silenced. What was formed to strike will shatter. What was planned to delay you will dissolve under the authority of the Lord who never stops fighting for His children. And you are His. You are the one He leaves the 99 for. You are the one He chases down with mercy and guards with angels. This protection does not come because you've been perfect. It comes because you are His. It comes because He sees what you cannot. It comes because you are deeply, fully, eternally loved. And He would rather disrupt your routine than let your destiny be derailed. He would rather send a holy interruption than watch the enemy take what was meant to bless you. Comment 15:15 if you believe the enemy's plans are falling apart right now because God stepped in. Do not resist this shift. Do not fear the changes. Even if they feel uncomfortable, they are your rescue. Even if they come with loss, they are loaded with freedom. God never removes without replacing. And what He is building in your life is not fragile. It is fire-tested, heaven-backed, divinely secured. The people meant to walk with you will stay. The doors meant to open will not shut. The peace you've been longing for is already starting to rise within you. Could this 7-second CIA brainwave trick be your fastest ticket to luxury? Recently leaked research shows a simple brain ritual that's allowing people to attract wealth effortlessly. Proven by 4 neuroscience labs, this technique is transforming debt into abundance, instantly. Homes, cars, and vacations are just the beginning. If you're seeing this now, you're very lucky. The page might disappear any moment. Click the link in the description and comments to know this secret before it's deleted forever. You are not stepping backward. You are stepping into the center of divine strategy. The very path that once felt blocked is being cleared. The very battle that once overwhelmed you is being dismantled. The very fear that once ruled your heart is losing its grip. Because the Spirit of God is not just near, He is dwelling with you. And when He dwells, everything changes. There is nothing the enemy can form that God cannot break. There is no storm you will face that God will not calm. There is no tragedy forming that heaven cannot turn into a testimony. The fear that gripped your chest will be replaced by a strength you didn't even know you had. The tears that watered your pillow will become the evidence of how deeply God was working behind the scenes. You will no longer walk in anxiety about what's coming. You will walk in assurance, not because the world is predictable, but because your protection is unshakable. God is not sending Michael with empty words. He is sending him with the authority of heaven to cover you, to guard your days, to push back the darkness that thought it had a hold on your life. Do not look back. Do not return to the places that made you doubt your value. Do not reattach to what God is removing. This is the season where your alignment matters more than your comfort. What you obey now determines what you carry next. Stay under the covering. Stay in the presence. Stay close to the whisper. Because in that place, no harm can reach you. This is not just a moment. This is a mantle being placed on your life. A mantle of preservation, of divine clarity, of strength, of favor. What others lose, you will keep. What others chase, will chase you. What others fear, you will walk through untouched. Because the glory of the Lord will surround you like fire. And no enemy can cross that line. Let this message settle in your bones. Let it wash over your weariness like a gentle rain. You are not forsaken. You are not walking blind. You are not under attack without heaven's defense. The battle may have found you, but God is fighting for you. And Michael has already been sent to shield you from what was meant to destroy you. And now, through the voice of Archangel Michael, God is speaking clearly once again, urging you to take this seriously, not to provoke fear, but because you are that important, that chosen, that precious to Him. You were never made to carry the weight of what is coming on your own. You were never expected to walk blind into a battle that heaven already saw from a distance. That is why this divine intervention is not just a message, it is a rescue. The enemy has been strategizing, planning, and waiting for the perfect time to strike you at your weakest. But God, in His mercy, stepped in first. He always steps in first. Michael is not standing at your door to observe. He is standing as a barrier, fully armed, fully awake, with a sword of fire drawn between you and the assignment of destruction that was being prepared in secret. This tragedy was already forming. It was being layered with deception, wrapped in false comfort, disguised as something small, but its roots were meant to grow into full collapse. That collapse will not happen now. Not because of your strength, but because you are being kept. Comment 1717 if you believe God has assigned angels to protect your life. What you are feeling right now, this stirring, this weight, this silence in your soul, is not confusion. It is heaven calling you back into divine awareness. The world around you has tried to drown out this voice. The distractions have gotten louder. The pressure has felt almost unbearable. But all of it, every attack, every loss, every mental weight, was designed to make you deaf to God's direction. And that's why this is your turning point. Not tomorrow. Not later. Right now. The enemy's greatest fear is not your defeat, it is your awakening. Because once you truly see how protected you are, once you realize that heaven itself is involved in your survival, every attack loses its grip. This is not about being religious. This is about being rescued. This is not about guilt or shame or what you've done wrong. This is about love. Fierce, eternal, unshakable love that refuses to let you fall without a fight. You are not weak for feeling tired. You are not broken for needing help. You are not abandoned because you've struggled. In fact, your struggle is the very proof that you are carrying something sacred, something holy, something heaven has marked as necessary for this time. That is why the pressure has been relentless. That is why the confusion has circled your peace like a vulture. But it ends now. Michael is here to draw the line. Not just in the spirit, but in your mind, in your heart, in your steps. You do not belong to fear. You do not belong to darkness. You do not belong to tragedy. You belong to the God who knows every hair on your head, who has numbered every day of your life, who has already made a way through the storm that you haven't even seen yet. You are not going backward. No matter what you've lost, no matter what it feels like, you are being moved forward into divine protection. Yes, some things may fall away. Yes, some people may leave. Yes, some doors may close. But it is not punishment. It is preservation. God is removing what can't go with you into the new place He's taking you. He's removing what the enemy tried to plant to delay your destiny. What's the buzz behind the 7-second brain trick making headlines? A recently leaked CIA brain ritual is turning heads, and bank balances. Backed by 4 neuroscience labs, this simple home method is turning money blocks into unstoppable wealth flow. Homes, cars, and cash are flooding in. But this secret won't stay online long. Click the description and comments now to access it before it's permanently deleted. The enemy tried to entangle you in fear and doubt so that you would question your own value. He tried to isolate you, to wear you down quietly, to convince you that God had gone silent. But look around. Listen. God is speaking through fire right now. Michael doesn't arrive unless the mission is critical. That alone should tell you how much your life matters to the kingdom of heaven. You will not break under this pressure. You will not collapse under this weight. You will rise with new strength. You will move forward with new clarity. You will feel peace again, not because the storm disappears, but because God is walking you through it. Comment Amen if you know this word is touching the deepest part of your spirit. Some of you were seconds away from making a choice that would have set off a chain of destruction. A conversation, a relationship, a decision that felt small but was laced with long-term spiritual damage. That is why heaven stepped in now. God will not allow you to sleepwalk into sabotage. That ache in your gut, that pause in your spirit, those are not random. They are warnings. Sacred warnings from a God who refuses to give up on you. Do not ignore what your spirit is feeling. Do not explain it away as emotion. This is the Holy Spirit stirring in you, gently shouting through the noise, calling you back into alignment, into protection, into life. You are not too far gone. You are not beyond the reach of grace. You are still held, still seen, still invited into a safe place where tragedy cannot touch you. This is not about being lucky. This is about being loved. The warnings of heaven come not to scare you, but to save you. And right now, this is a moment dripping with mercy. God is giving you a chance to reroute, to reposition your heart, to let go of what was weighing you down, and to rest in the truth that you are already being carried. You do not have to perform. You do not have to pretend. You only need to believe. There will come a time, not far from now, when everything that felt uncertain will become clear. When you will look back and see how close you came to disaster, and how deeply God intervened on your behalf. You will tell others about this. You will testify not about your strength, but about His faithfulness. Because what you are being spared from, you will never fully see, but you will feel the peace that came in its place. Let your soul breathe again. Let the fear melt off your shoulders. Let this be your sign, your covering, your confirmation. God is with you. Michael is standing guard. And your life is being shielded by the one who never sleeps and never fails. This is not a passing moment. This is a divine setup. The Father has seen what is coming and has gone ahead of you. Through Archangel Michael, He has issued not only a warning, but a covering, a shield made from grace, a protection forged from love, a declaration that you will not be overtaken. The enemy wanted you to think this was just another ordinary day. He wanted you numb, distracted, doubtful. But your spirit knows better. Something is shifting. Something is stirring. You are standing on the edge of something holy. And that's why the shaking began. That's why the pressure built. Because something sacred is about to emerge from the ashes of what tried to bury you. What the enemy designed as an ending, God is about to use as your beginning. Comment 222 if you can feel God's nearness in your life right now. This is the hour when divine alignment matters most. Not everything that is familiar is safe. Not everything that is comfortable is holy. And not everything that appears calm is sent by God. The tragedy that was being prepared was designed to slip into your life quietly, unnoticed, slow, wrapped in convenience or distraction, until it grew strong enough to pull you down. But this warning has come to lift the veil before it ever takes root. That is mercy. That is love. That is the power of a God who would rather interrupt your routine than let the enemy unravel your purpose. You do not need to understand every detail of what was coming. You only need to know that you've been saved from it. You may never see it with your eyes, but your soul will recognize the peace that followed. That stillness, that sudden clarity, that feeling that something shifted in your favor, that is how heaven's protection often arrives. Not with noise, but with presence. Not with explanation, but with assurance. You are not weak for needing direction. You are not behind for having questions. You are not failing for feeling tired. What you are feeling is the weight of transformation. You are being pulled out of cycles that were killing your peace. You are being pulled away from patterns that felt normal but were keeping you stuck. God is taking you out of what you've learned to survive in, not to punish you, but to heal you. You are not here to merely survive. You are here to walk fully in what God placed inside you. That calling, that strength, that deep hunger for more, it is not by chance. It is your spirit crying out to align again with the reason you were created. You were not built to crumble under pressure. You were not built to live in fear of tomorrow. You were not made to wonder if you are protected. You were made in the image of the Almighty. And He is defending what He formed. Comment Amen if you believe you were made in God's image and are covered by His presence. The enemy is not intimidated by your past. He is intimidated by your future. That's why the attacks have increased, why the tension has thickened, why the noise in your mind has gotten louder. Because something is about to break, not you, but the chains. Something is about to shift, not your peace, but the pressure that was trying to silence it. Heaven is not silent right now. Heaven is roaring over you. What if just 7 seconds could flip your entire financial life? A shocking CIA leak has revealed a powerful brain ritual that's helping ordinary people wipe out debt and attract wealth beyond imagination. Backed by 4 cutting-edge neuroscience labs, this at-home breakthrough is turning everyday lives into dreams, luxury cars, beautiful homes, endless vacations. But this secret may vanish soon. Click the link in the description and comments now before it's deleted forever. Michael has drawn his sword not to scare you, but to guard you. He is stationed over your name, your home, your path. Not because you're in danger, but because danger tried to reach you and failed. This is not just protection, this is preservation. God is preserving your destiny, preserving your anointing, preserving the purpose you thought had slipped through your fingers. Nothing is lost in God's hands. Nothing is forgotten in His sight. Even when you walked away, He followed. Even when you lost your way, He held your name. Even when you doubted yourself, He never stopped calling you His own. That's why He sent this message. Not to correct you in anger, but to rescue you in love. Love so vast it surrounds you. Love so deep it interrupts destruction before it begins. Love so faithful it fights for you even when you're tired of fighting for yourself. You have not missed your moment. You are not too late. The assignment over your life has not been cancelled. The delay was real, but it was not denial. The waiting was hard, but it was not wasted. Every single tear, every silent prayer, every groan too deep for words has reached heaven. And now heaven is responding with power. Comment 333 if you believe your delay was never a denial and God is still moving. What the enemy hoped would shake you out of place is being turned into a platform for your strength. What he meant to use as a trap is being transformed into a testimony. What was meant to be a tragedy is turning into triumph. Because God never lets his children walk into storms unarmed. You've been armed with truth, covered with favor, surrounded by grace. And now, you are being lifted above the flood.